Now you've made it past mission 1 and you're entering mission 2. This mission is going to get boring after a while, but of course it's what you have to do, so you might as well try and do it optimally, which is why I'm here to explain it. Firstly, just get out of the spacesuit. You can go either left or right. Most people prefer right, however. Hold S and A and wait until you hear the flashlight noise. That noise right there. You can turn around and head out. And what I like to do at this event is crouch very quickly. I'll explain. That has two uses. One, crouching helps you enter event faster. And you're also setting up a pre-crouch for after the fall in the second. Once you get out of the vent, just run straight over here. And this is the fall. This is what you're setting up the pre-crouch for. Grab the flare, and your pre-crouch will be set up for this.
Mi servirà.
So basically, as soon as you crouch, you go under. I just want to make your way over here, head up this ladder. There's going to be a loot spot immediately to your left.
Ehi, c'è nessuno.
Loot spots are generally going to be the same in Nightmare, but sometimes you can get some very strange patterns, so just be sure to be on the lookout for those. Head up the stairs, do this generator. To be honest, I don't really know why crouching here is the thing. I'm used to doing it at this point. Run through this wire. There's a chance you either take damage or don't. But either way, it should be fine. Hopefully you end up getting a healing item later on in your run. If not, then that's just unlucky. Make your way up the stairs. You're gonna go into a forced walk cutscene here. Basically, you just wanna walk it out.
La Torres. Sono qui. Sono qui. Per lei.
Making your way over towards this next generator, there's gonna be another flare. Just grab that. These flares will be coming in handy at the end of mission 2. Do a generator, turn around, head back out towards this door. As soon as I open this vent, I try to crouch as fast as possible to set up another pre-crouch. Exit out of this vent. You want to wait a bit with the climb out there, so you make sure you climb out in this direction. And crouch. This is where you use your pre-crouch, right here. And now this section. It's a bit of superstition, you could say, but I found that if I look in this direction, in this general direction right here, basically where my crosshairs you want to try and aim here, and do as little mouse movement as possible, you can consistently get the fastest axle running across. Now, there's a few kinds of axles you can get. You can get the fastest one, decently fast, or the one where you're basically almost at the top of the stairs and he just now starts running past. That is very slow and it loses you a few seconds. So you know, of course you want to try and not get that one. That is a fast axle. Now we're just going to head over towards this generator. To open the other doors to the maintenance jack. over here, go up the stairs, go through this door, and now we are going to have one of the most important clips in NoCC here. I'd recommend saving here if you'd like to practice it, but you go over here, go towards this wall,
Cazzo.
look down at the jack, like so, and you should be able to grab it through the wall. Now the reason why I have this red dot on the screen, that is a reshade crosshair, which is what this menu here is. It is Carix. Carix has an entire tutorial going over how to set this up, so if you'd like I could put that in the description of this video if you'd like to look at that. Now you just grab the jack, and seeing as you're grabbing it through the wall, your camera's broken. So what we want to do
Credo che
is
sia
head
proprio
back
Maggie.
out of the room, go back through this door, and enter a locker, which will fix our broken camera state. Get out of the locker, and head back downstairs to open the brace. This is going to activate a cutscene in which we'll just skip, and keep doing the brace and just ignore whatever that bald guy behind you says.
Non è vicinissima, ma con una navetta possiamo raggiungerla attraverso l'area di carico. Ma stai attenta, in quel posto ci sono spesso mai, ok?
Continue walking towards the elevator.
Eri tu che mi seguivi allora.
Dovevo tenermi a distanza, qui non si può rischiare. Resta vicina a me.
Cosa?
Ehi, non muoverti!
Ok. Non vogliamo problemi. Chi siete voi?
Io Babbo Natale e lei è un elfo. Sono solo un paio di stronzi. Non c'è tempo da perdere.
And you want to look at the elevator because it's going to cause Axel to say, yep, that, nice timing. And he will skip a bit of dialogue when he gets closer to it, when he gets closer to the elevator to do it. And now, one thing I would like to mention here is that you can also bind your items. So what I like to bind my things on is 6 and 0. You just hover over the item and hit them. You can use your keys from 6 to 0. The keys 6 to 0 on your keyboard are the ones that you can use to bind items, and 1 through 5 are used for weapons. One thing to note though is that, interestingly enough, you can double bind weapons. It's not useful, and I wouldn't recommend it. It's just that I don't know.
Che
I
cosa voleva
found
dire?
out that was a thing
Perché
recently.
sei stato così aggressivo?
Sono tutti terrorizzati, ognuno pensa a sé. Lasciami fare, questo posto è
Like there, he skips his dialogue, and we are going to have a small time save here, but it's one that I wouldn't pass up personally, where you skip the elevator prompt. You skip waiting for him to walk into the elevator, which will then activate the prompt here. What you want to do is look all the way down, like so, walk into this button, crouch, and start scrolling. And you grab the prompt. Now if you fail this, however, you're able to do it again. You just back up a bit so you can stand back up, and then try it again like that. You want to scroll pretty quickly after crouching. Don't wait too long, or else you'll just miss it.
Ci rilassiamo e chiacchieriamo quanto ti pare davanti.
And just wait for this exciting cutscene.
Devo sapere che sta succedendo. E subito, cazzo!
One thing to note here is that you can either, sometimes you can run, sometimes you can't.
Vorrebbe dire.
Either way, you don't save time.
Ci stai eliminando.
It's just a weird
Che
thing
stai
that
dicendo?
happens.
Uno psicopatico, una persona.
No!
Now, since we're not playing no CC, there will be psycho running and glitches and things like that. So, once this elevator ends, we just walk out. Since I'm walking, we're just gonna walk until we can able to run somewhere around here. And then we psycho run towards the vent.
Cazzo, dobbiamo muoverci. Di qua, sta giù!
Ma che stronzate! Dovremmo cercare una via
To psycho
d'uscita.
run, you want to hold WD and WD shift and start spamming crouch.
E se vengono a
Oops,
cercarci?
I forgot there's
Gli abbiamo una pallottola in testa.
the
Non
walk
la
trigger
smetti,
still
mi stai
there.
innervosendo.
This allows for you to run silently to the right side. Now left turns require a bit more precision and like a bit more experience with those.
Problemi?
I'll probably have another separate tutorial on those at some point. But generally you just want to stick to right side. Right side cycle running. You're also able to do very wide left turn
Amici
arches.
tuoi?
Mi sono già
Are also a
scontrato.
possibility, as if you turn left slow enough, you do not make footsteps.
Dai.
Non lo dico così per dire, cara. Se vuoi vuoi andarmi a salutare, peggio
So
per
that
te.
can be pretty
Quelli
integral
non
in
sono
some missions.
Qualcuno dovrà
Now
furfare
basically here, it
qualcosa.
just, in the vent, it does not matter what you're doing. You just, normally I just look in one direction and just hold the forward key or side key or whatever.
La paura ti rende pazzo.
L'ho notato.
Some more loot spots up ahead,
E tu vivi qui?
here, and here.
Che ci posso fare? Il mio maggiordomo è in
Well,
ferie.
that one's
Prendi quello che ti
always
serve.
guaranteed flashlight batteries, but you know, you're able to turn on your flashlight before you have the flashlight, interestingly
Mi
enough.
sono rifugiato qui per una settimana, aspettando una nave, aspettando te, immagino.
Just
Questo
basically
posto
just
resta
stand
al
over
buio
this and
molto
wait.
spesso. Porta quella torcia con te. Cerca di non restare senza batterie.
I like to do some movement here for a bit, just make sure that
Stai
this
attenta
idiot's
come la
paying
usi, però.
attention.
Non
Like
dobbiamo
so.
farci vedere. Andiamo.
And now, the hardest strat in the run. Can we get the fan into the vent? It doesn't do anything, it's just fun to do.
Da questa parte.
Aw. Fortunate.
E ora?
Controllo il condotto. Dovrebbe essercene un altro qui intorno. L'ho segnato per non
You want to have your flashlight on this vent and then
Axel,
wait
è
until she
questo.
speaks. You're also able to stand close to it, I believe. I remember Carrick saying that, another runner. However, I haven't done that myself, so I can't really say I've tested it.
Lo sapevo che era qui intorno. Visto? Ci penso
There
io.
is a strat you can do here where you drop a flare. Once Axel gets close to the vent, you light a flare, you stand over in this corner, and once he gets to a certain point in his animation, you can drop the flare and peek grab the vent and skip it and skip having to stand behind Axel, and it saves about 40 to 50 seconds. However, I will not be showing that in this video. This is just going to be a general mission 2 guide, and I will end up having a tutorial on that at some point. A separate one.
Non è una buona idea restare troppo a lungo qui.
È così che tutti si spostano qui.
Solo chi vuole restare vivo, principessa. Torrens, allora è la tua nave, eh? Zitta, ho sentito qualcosa.
Also, you want to ensure you're looking this way when you get close to this cutscene, because if you're not, then their dialogue will not activate.
Qualcosa non va.
I had to find that out the hard way.
Forza, non lo facciamo innervosire.
Ho detto di averlo visto. E un po' di persone sono scappate. Se lo vediamo, cambiamo e basta.
Now for this next section, there are a few different ways you can do this. One way you can do it is by throwing a flare over in this corner here, over in this corner, and then going around them. Or you could also use the generator way. The generator way is very nice with cycle running. You could just go over, cycle run over, activate the generator, go under, and then go out once they're far away enough. But I will be showcasing the flare way with cycle running. So you just want to light the flare, throw the flare this way,
Che succede?
and head around like so.
Stanno prendendo gioco di noi.
Now, once you're past, Axel's going to run over, and you'll want to wait a bit, because if you go around them and then run into the room, your Axel is he's going to get stuck in the doorway across from you, and you'll have to wait until he starts moving and then do a turnaround, and it's just time loss. You'll want to wait until you see his head shine. Right there. And then you can enter.
Bel lavoro, Ripley. Da questa parte.
Quanto manca?
Ci siamo quasi.
There's a loot spot right here.
Seguimi. Spero solo che la tua nave sia ancora lì.
What you want to do, just run into the door and turn around.
Sevastopol non è proprio
And there he is.
navi, eh? È bloccato. Quegli stronzi ci
If
hanno
I hadn't have
isolati.
waited, he would have been over there at that door.
Dobbiamo attivare le due
And then I would have had to
contemporaneamente per aprirlo.
wait
Mi
until he
occupo di
started
questa,
moving
tu
and
hai
do another
quella
turnaround.
Ok,
Now the rest of the mission should go fairly smoothly.
al mio 3.
Just make your way over to the other side, hit the button.
Axel, dietro di te.
Cosa?
Watch Axel get hit from behind with groaning noises,
Venite qui, ho trovato il nostro ladruncolo del cazzo.
and then destroy this man's entire hopes and dreams.
Cazzo.
Andiamo, gli altri stanno arrivando.
One thing I like to do here is just hold W and D until I hear Axel say move it, and then I start moving my mouse.
Sparategli!
It's just a lot nicer and he doesn't get stuck in your way a lot. He gets stuck in your way a lot less, I should say. And now we just run to the button and wait. One thing I will say is after you hit this button, you want to try not to make noise because Steve is active. Steve is the alien. Most of the people in the community call the alien Steve. I don't know where it came from, but it's just what most of us call him. There we have names such as Steve, Fluffy. Those are like the only two I can think of right now. There's a few, but you know, pretty creative bunch of people. This is a nice community, very welcoming. But yeah. Also psycho running. Of course, WD, shift crouch. A little bit of left turn flexing. I most likely will be making a left turn tutorial. But of course, once the tram arrives, you get in, and then you're on to 3.